710 freeway. Actually, we are eastbound on the 91 freeway, just coming past Bellflower. This is a Long Beach pursuit of a stolen vehicle here. We believe that ended up or started on surface streets and ended up on the freeway here, northbound 605, and he just made the transition to the westbound 91 freeway here. We have several units in trail of this stolen pursuit suspect here. You can see this fast-moving vehicle here. Westbound on the 91 freeway, we've just passed Bellflower. We'll be coming up on Paramount. We'll be coming up on the 710 freeway. Hang on. Okay, fair enough. And now, wow, okay, some of those slower moving vehicles are now moving out of the way here. So this is a very fast moving stolen vehicle pursuit here. Sky 5 HD first overhead with this as we move through Bellflower, through North Long Beach, over towards the 710 freeway. I can tell you this much, right now there doesn't seem to be a lot of traffic, but about a mile up ahead, right when you get up to about Paramount, over towards the 710 freeway, it is going to get very, very slow. So he is going to encounter a lot of traffic if he chooses to stay on the freeway. We're right above Downey here. Okay. Now westbound, again, westbound on that 91 freeway coming through Bellflower here. And we'll be coming up on North Lakewood, North Long Beach, and now moving into the slow lane, weaving into the number, what I believe to be the number 123 lane here. Not necessarily driving too fast at this point here, as he does move fast enough to avoid some of the slower traffic. This pursuit is still about a half a mile from encountering some pretty slow conditions here. So we'll kind of see what happens over the course of the next half a mile. Is he going to stay in traffic? Is he going to try and weave in and out of some of the slower traffic? Or is he going to get off the freeway here? So let's see what happens here. Again, next quarter mile, half mile, we'll see. Don't know how many occupants are in the vehicle here. Sky 5 HD, we are tracking this. Long Beach PD is in pursuit. They did make mention of possibly handing this over to the CHP. I don't know that that has happened yet. Right now it looks like it's still Long Beach units still in pursuit of this stolen vehicle suspect here. So again, here we go. We are going to be coming up on an area of slow moving traffic here just in a matter of about a quarter mile here. So let's see what this person chooses to do, because that traffic is going to get bunched up right at about Paramount, right about Cherry, Paramount, Atlantic, over towards the 710 freeway here. So that's kind of what we're watching. The number 3 lane is still where this guy is choosing to occupy here. He is going to be coming up on slower moving traffic here. Sky 5 HD is overhead. We're 1,400 on the south side of the freeway, kind of tracking this. Again, we're trying to get in and see how many people might be in that vehicle, but it's just too dark right now. It's just too dark to see exactly how many occupants might be in the vehicle here. And now he is going to have to start slowing up, and let's see how he kind of proceeds with this pursuit here. So, you know, your best bet is obviously just to pull over off the side of the freeway there and give yourself up. Okay, bear with me a moment. Bear with me just a second here. Let me turn it over to you guys for just a moment. And Tower TV. TV5 is on scene here over the 91 freeway. Okay. All right, here's that slow traffic, guys. Here's that slow traffic. We're just encountering some of that slower traffic here. And, you know, at best, I'd say it's probably moving about 20 miles an hour. So you can kind of see moving into the slower lane. Let's see if he chooses to get off the freeway here. We've just passed, we've just passed Downey, moving over towards, say, Atlantic at this point here. So, you know, obviously still able to move a little bit here, but we'll kind of see what happens with this guy and what he chooses to do here. So, you know, okay, for 5, we're at 1,003. Now, okay. Okay, just passing Cherry, coming up on Orange, coming up on, we'll be coming up on that, should be Long Beach Boulevard, our Atlantic Avenue here shortly here. So, still able to kind of maneuver through traffic here, so not choosing to give up at this point here, still in the slow lane of traffic. Still has the option to get off the freeway at Atlantic or perhaps merge onto the 710 freeway north or south. Obviously, you know, another option is just to pull over and give yourself up. But right now, he's in a position where he is not able to, you know, get at those high rates of speed that he might need to try and get away here. Several units on the ground. We have helicopters above. And we are now tracking this guy. So he's only about a quarter mile away from the Atlantic Avenue off-ramp here, he has that option to take that, or maybe if he stays in the right lane, he's going to choose the 710 option here. So if he doesn't and he stays towards the left, that's going to keep him onto the 91 freeway heading into Compton, where this slow kind of moving traffic is going to continue for him. So we will know in just a matter of a few moments if he stays in that right lane of traffic here. So let's see what he does. It looks like he might be trying to, well, let's see here. It looks like he's transitioning, or perhaps looking to transition onto the freeway, onto the 710 freeway here. If he stays in that right lane, that's going to be the northbound side of the 710 freeway. He's on the transition road now, so if he stays in the right lane, that's going to be northbound. If he scoots over to the left lane, that might be southbound 710. So in that, this began at Long Beach. If he goes southbound on the 710 freeway, perhaps, okay, that's going to be southbound 710. So he's heading back in towards Long Beach here, where that pursuit initially began. Perhaps an area of familiarity to this person here. And so, again, southbound on the 710 freeway, you see the transition. Not driving too terribly fast, and maybe that's a good thing here. We are on the transition road, heading back in towards Long Beach. So still refusing to give up at this point. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, wow, 8 units, 9 units of law enforcement, mostly Long Beach PD, still in pursuit of this guy here. So now we are pretty much on that 710 freeway southbound. 710 freeway southbound, coming away from the 91. Coming away from the 91 freeway here, and still not choosing to give up at this point here. So that's kind of what we're looking at. Again, Sky 5 HD first with this breaking news as we transition southbound over towards Long Beach Boulevard, over towards Del Amo, over towards the 405 freeway here. Now, in terms of traffic up ahead, a little bit of slowing, maybe over towards Del Amo here, but generally speaking, traffic is looking pretty good if you wanted to continue this pursuit, as it looks like he is trying to do here, but not necessarily driving too fast. Again, as we mentioned before, that is certainly some good news here. Just traveling perhaps in the neighborhood of about 40, 50 miles an hour. In fact, some of the other vehicles are we're kind of passing him. So I can see the Long Beach PD now. They're setting up a situation here where they are just blocking traffic behind so that they don't pass the pursuit suspect here. So they're blocking traffic coming up from behind here. So now the suspect is still kind of making his way southbound. There's a vehicle that kind of sees what's going on in the rearview mirror and is kind of pulling off to make room for this pursuit that's coming through here. So passing Long Beach Boulevard and heading down towards Del Amo, and again the 405 freeway here. No signs of wanting to give up at this point here. This stolen vehicle suspect back in the Long Beach area where this pursuit initially began just about 20 minutes ago here. So guys, let me send it back down to you for a moment. Okay. Okay, just coming up on Del Amo. Okay. 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 TV5. Okay. 710. Ginger, yeah, having a look at the 710 freeway southbound, he's just kind of at the top of the transition road to the 405, so that 405 is obviously going to be an option for him here. Not encountering anything in terms of slower traffic at this point, so it's just a matter of deciding if he's going to stay on the 710 freeway, and right there's the transition to the 405, so it looks like he's going to continue south on the 710 freeway past the 405, so into Long Beach proper here. The Long Beach Police Department is still the primary on this, but we understand that they are going to be in the process of letting CHP through some of their traffic breaks to let them come up and take over the pursuit here. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here, because at some point it is going to end up on surface streets. It has to, because if he takes this 710 freeway, okay, here we go. If he takes this 710 freeway all the way into the harbor here, at some point you're going to end up on surface streets here. So it'll be interesting to see if they do continue the handoff to the California Highway Patrol. There's just not much in the way of freeway to go if he continues south. So obviously you do have the option of getting off the 710 freeway here, or running it all the way down in towards downtown Long Beach near the aquarium here. So we'll kind of see what happens here. At some point it is going to have to come off the freeway though, and that's going to happen in the course of probably about 3 or 4 miles here. So we're already south of the 405. We continue south on the 710 freeway. We're just going to be coming up on Willow. We'll be coming up on some of those main surface streets shortly here. So again, Willow will be next, and then beyond that we're talking about, hang on a moment here. Bear with me here. That should be Pacific Coast Highway at some point here. But okay, again, southbound on the 710 freeway here. So not necessarily driving too fast or too erratically, nothing like that. We're just kind of in the slow lane of traffic. It's a 3-lane stretch of freeway here as you head down in towards downtown Long Beach and in towards the harbor. So my sense is that he's going to have to pull off the freeway and do something here, unless he chooses to pull off the freeway then turn back northbound here. So at any rate, yeah, not necessarily driving too fast here. So hopefully this guy does the right thing and pulls over and gives himself up here. Right now it looks like, can we back up the camera here? Is it still Long Beach? It's still Long Beach, I believe here. So unknown whether or not they're going to turn this over to CHP. That was the last word. You saw from our shot earlier here, we had several Long Beach units, as many as 10 Long Beach units that were in pursuit of this guy, and the CHP was asking them to make some way through their traffic break, so that they can get their vehicles up to this pursuit here. But again, we're only about a couple of miles from the end of the freeway here, and again, this is going to end up on surface streets. So we'll kind of see what happens here. We're just passing, well, we've already passed Willow. At some point we'll be coming up on PCH and Anaheim Street and in towards downtown Long Beach here. So we continue to watch this pursuit here. Up ahead in terms of traffic, there is really light volume at this point here. We know that this particular stretch of the freeway here is heavily traveled at during some parts of the morning because of all the trucks that are moving in and out of the harbor here. But right now it's not too heavily traveled here on that southbound side. You have a few vehicles here, but not anything that this person isn't going to be able to negotiate should he or she choose to do so here. Now we understand from a CHP report that there is only one occupant in the vehicle here, so that is some news that we can bring to you here. It looks like only one occupant in the vehicle, so not a multiple occupant type situation here where if he decides to bail, people might scatter. So it's just a matter of a driver in there. And again, we are just now crossing PCH. We'll be coming up on Anaheim Street, and he's going to have a couple of decisions to make here as to what he wants to do when he gets off the freeway here. This particular stretch of the freeway, as it comes to its end, gets a little bit confusing. For example, if you're trying to get over to the Queen Mary, or over towards the port, or over towards Ocean Avenue here. So we'll kind of see what he decides to do here. So okay, yeah, at some point, so not taking over. Okay, so yeah, it looks like Long Beach is going to hang on to this, kind of like what we might have suspected here. Since this is coming off the freeway, Long Beach might be better suited to handle the jurisdictional situation here, because this guy is now moving back into the city off the freeway here. So that's what we're doing. We're off the freeway at this point, and we're kind of trucking straight ahead over towards the port of Long Beach, over towards the Queen Mary. So we're not going in towards downtown Long Beach. It does not seem so, at least, but he might hook around. He might hook around here if he stays over to the right. Okay, yeah, he's going to hook around, and this is going to put him on surface streets. Just if we widen out the shot just a little bit here, just to give people a sense of where we we are here. We're pulling off the freeway, and we'll try and get the off-ramp here, but this is going to be right near Shoreline Drive, and we'll see what he chooses to do here. He kind of stuck behind a couple of trucks there, but he's taking that kind of core point there, that center divider core point, and trying to do his best to... Okay, so yeah, he obviously knows what's going on here, and he's going to do whatever he can to avoid, you know, being taken into custody anytime soon here. So it looks like he just wants to kind of continue the pursuit at this point here. Okay, yeah, Pico Avenue here. You got that truck here. It looks like this guy wants to get into position to pit the guy here, so that might be what we're looking at here. Okay, now we have that kind of that dump truck there that might have been in danger if he did try and pit the guy. So, okay, southbound Pico Avenue, which is just below the 710 freeway over on the west side of it, and as we kind of approach the port of Long Beach here, we've got a red light coming up here, and we have some vehicles that are stopped just ahead of this guy, and okay, what's going to happen here? These folks here are stopped at a red light here. And so it looks like that Long Beach unit does want to get into a position to pit. Okay, right through the red light. That's not good. Okay, fortunately for this particular stretch of Long Beach, it's not heavily traveled at this point, so there's not a whole lot of traffic to contend with here. So it looks like he wants to kind of scoot away from that Long Beach unit so he doesn't get pitted, but in fact, if he puts himself into a position where the Long Beach unit can catch up to him, he is going to pit. So we'll see what happens here. But Pico Avenue, and you know, it's looking like he wants to get on the Terminal Island Freeway here, so bear with us here, and it looks like he's going to be getting onto the Terminal Island Freeway, and that'll make him, that'll push him kind of westbound. Bear with me here. Yeah, okay, that's going to be the Terminal Island Freeway here. Now he's going to be westbound, heading over towards, well, deeper into the port and over towards, say, San Pedro. So, yeah, there we go. Okay, we're continuing to move this pursuit here westbound, and up ahead in terms of traffic, this is only a 2-lane stretch of freeway here, of highway here, and there are vehicles up ahead, so he is going to have to slow at some point. But you can see still resisting the opportunity to pull over and give up peacefully here. What was that? Okay, fair enough. Yeah, so Long Beach, as this pursuit heads over towards San Pedro, obviously that's going to put him into LAPD's jurisdiction, so LAPD might join in at some point here, but right now we're just coming out of Long Beach. We're deeper into the port of Long Beach right now, and this is kind of the Terminal Island Freeway here. As we move westbound, probably in a matter of another half mile, we'll already be halfway into San Pedro, and so this person just doesn't want to give up here, so we're just going to kind of track him. TV5, thank you very much. And we just kind of keep moving along here westbound, and at some point I can see it in about the next mile and a half, so the Vincent Thomas Bridge. So that's going to move him over in towards Pedro and Torrance. And so, you know, here we go. We continue to watch this pursuit that we believe began in Long Beach as a stolen vehicle here, as a stolen vehicle suspect. Long Beach PD still in pursuit. So now, since we are on freeways and the potential to head over towards the Thomas Bridge and perhaps over to the 110 freeway here, that is going to push us into territory where the CHP might want to intervene if they are along the 110 freeway, or if they move into Pedro or parts of Torrance. Those agencies might want to take over here, and so that is something that we are going to be watching over the course of the next mile or so. Over the next mile, he is going to be over towards the Thomas Bridge, so we're pretty close to San Pedro at this point here. So this person showing no signs of wanting to give up or slowing down for that matter. He's okay, whoa, there you go. Okay, he was kind of tailgating that one guy, and the one guy finally caught on and pulled over to the right just as the suspect was going to move to the right to move around him. So at any rate, here we go. The Terminal Island Freeway, another quarter mile, will be over the Thomas Bridge and in towards San Pedro, so that's kind of what we're tracking right now. Sky 5 HD, we continue to watch this as, you know, this pursuit unfolds. So not necessarily driving too aggressively, too erratically. We have seen a couple of things where he will drive in the gore point and bust through red lights, but nothing insanely drastic that we have seen. At least for the early morning commute, it's been a good thing because not as many vehicles have been on the road at this point here. So now we are at the foot of the Thomas Bridge here, so we can widen out the shot just a touch, and we'll line up the shot so we can see him going through the bridge here. But essentially, at the other side of the bridge, he's going to be in San Pedro, and with a decision to make. Does he want to enter the 110 freeway? Does he want to stay on surface streets? At any rate, he will be in the LAPD's jurisdiction. So if he stays on the freeway, LAPD can opt to let the CHP take over, but right now he is crossing the Thomas Bridge just about mid-span at this point, so in just a matter of about half a mile, we'll kind of see what happens here. But Long Beach PD is still the primary on this. As you can see, I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units of the Long Beach PD that continue to be in pursuit of this stolen vehicle suspect here. So just coming down the west side of the Thomas Bridge here, and we'll just kind of watch and see. Does he want to get on the freeway? Does he want to stay on surface streets? Let's see what he does here. But the 110 freeway is going to be an option for him, just about a half mile or way, or maybe just a little bit less. So moving away from slower traffic, there is, okay, yikes, okay, so if he stays off to the left here, that's going to be Gaffey, right? That'll put him into Pedro here, but that's also the option that allows him to get over to the 110 freeway if he stays off to the right here. So there's signage right there. You see Gaffey to the left and San Pedro. If he gets into the right lane, that's going to push him off to the 110 freeway northbound. So it looks like, oh boy, okay, so he wants to put it on surface streets. All right, so we're still going to be on surface streets here, and as he makes that kind of that sweeping left turn, he'll end up on Gaffey, which is kind of the main street coming off the 110 and heading south in towards Pedro. So, okay, this is where it gets kind of tight here because he's back now on surface streets. And some of these San Pedro streets, you know, they're laid out in a grid-like pattern here, but some of those are pretty tight streets, so not a whole lot of, well, the safety margin there for commuters is just not going to be there as this pursuit kind of moves around here. So I believe that Long Beach unit does want to still get into a position where he can pit this guy. But southbound on Gaffey, that's kind of where we are right now, and we're kind of tracking this pursuit, the stolen vehicle pursuit from Long Beach all the way into San Pedro at this point. So there it is. There's some of that traffic that we're talking about, and he's just now coming up on a red light southbound on Gaffey, and I believe that's going to be First Street. I believe that's going to be First, and so through the parking lot, he realizes that that traffic is going to hold him up. So this is what I'm talking about here, some of those smaller streets here. So he's now in a parking lot and now going up a back alley here in a residential part of San Pedro here. So this guy really not wanting to give up at this point here. So just creating an unsafe situation for the folks here in Pedro, as well as some of the folks that might be some of the pedestrians is what I'm trying to say here. So back on First Street here now, westbound up into the hills here. So still no signs of wanting to give up here. This is what I mean. Some of those Pedro streets are very narrow, and you know, kind of anticipating a situation where it could create unsafe conditions for commuters as well as pedestrians here. So this particular street, you know, one lane in either direction here, and that's going to be First Street. As we move westbound, we kind of move up the hill over towards, let's see here, bear with me here, over towards Western eventually here. So Western, okay, and now he's made that west turn northbound. So still kind of moving around the San Pedro area. I've got to believe that, you know, they would want this to end sooner than later here with the commuters and with the pedestrians on the road here. This is just creating an unsafe situation for the folks here in San Pedro. So now we're moving into some of the tighter residential streets there. You can see this is a tight street here. And yeah, this person, this suspect here, just not been very smart here. So hopefully he does the right thing and just kind of makes his way circling the neighborhood here, guys. So there you go. Long Beach PD still in pursuit of this stolen vehicle suspect here. This guy just kind of making the rounds here in this residential neighborhood here in Long Beach, just doing what he can to avoid having to give up here. Here comes that Long Beach unit. It looks like he wants to get close to put himself in a position. Oh my goodness. Okay, to put himself into a position to be able to pit this guy. Okay, hang on. Let's see what he does. Let's see what he does. Okay, there you go. There's the opportunity right there. Okay, okay, he gets through. Okay, so there you go. There's an example of what this guy is willing to do to avoid capture here. So he does not want to be taken into custody here. So he will, you know, at all costs, even to the point of being pitted, still drive the vehicle out of there. And there's some pedestrians. That's what I'm talking about here. Dangerous for pedestrians, dangerous for commuters. These streets in Pedro are sometimes pretty tight here, and so creating a situation where it's very dangerous for these folks here. So, you know, this guy's just kind of blowing through stop signs, blowing through lights, and it's just a very dangerous situation here. So if you are in Pedro here, stay inside, you know. Don't get out on the roads right now because this guy's just driving around like a nut job here, and he's just creating unsafe conditions here now with multiple law enforcement units here. It's just, you know, a dangerous situation to try and track this guy, but hopefully this guy does the right thing and eventually just pulls over and gives up peacefully. But at this point, it doesn't look like that's going to be the case here. So he's just kind of weaving in and out some of the residential streets. Thank goodness the Long Beach PD is able to maintain, pretty close tracking of him. So, yeah, just kind of making circles here, So just a very dangerous situation. So we continue to watch this guy, and there's a pedestrian. That's what I'm talking about here. Very, very dangerous, guys. So if you see this or you hear this, just stay indoors and do the right thing and just keep yourself safe, because this guy is just driving around creating unsafe conditions. More commuters. So just be careful if you are in Pedro and you hear, oh my gosh, okay, so he almost nailed that white pickup truck there. So this guy is literally just driving around in circles at this point, literally just driving around in circles. There's that same pedestrian. So he's just driving around this, okay, there's the footbill, here's the footbill, okay. Here's the footbill, there you go. Let's see if, okay, hang on, let's see if we can, okay. Guys, let me turn it back over to you here. We're going to try and maintain a position on this guy. Okay. Okay, he's in the house. Okay. Yeah, hang on here, Ginger. I'm going to try and see if we can get a street and an address for that residence here. Bear with me just a moment. Okay, I've got it here. Give me a second. Guys, let me turn it over to you for a second here so we can nail this guy. That's... Okay, hang on. No, guys. You guys are going to have to cover this for a second. Third Street. Second Street, maybe. Okay, Grand Avenue. Hang on. Hang on, I'm trying to... I think it's going to be 2nd Street. 2nd Street near Grand Avenue. Second Street maybe between Gaffey. 2nd Street between, no, hang on. Yeah, I'm just in a hover here just on the southeast side of the footbill here. Second Street, say between Gaffey and Grand. Okay. Okay. 776 West First. Okay, there you go. First string. Yeah, that's about. Yeah, it was a male. I think he was wearing like a red and black hoodie type thing. He might have been wearing a hat. Neighborhood 6 foot. He went in a steel. Went into one of those steel security doors over on the kind of the what is it? The south, the northeast side of that residence. Come on, man. All right. Okay. 110. No, 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 no. Okay. What was he wearing? It was the main house, back entrance. It was the northeast corner. There's a black security door, and he entered that door, and it's right where that white pickup truck and the red sedan are. We definitely haven't seen him come out, but anyways. Okay. Okay. So, okay, can you zoom in on the corner there and get me that the streets? Show me the streets right there in the corner. Yeah, that's First, and that should be Cabrillo. Okay. Yeah, guys, we are just kind of watching, and you know, the police had just arrived on scene a couple of minutes ago, and we just the overhead units, I should say, and so we're just trying to do our best to give them, you know, the exact building and what we were able to see as the footbuild into the residence there. So we haven't seen anyone come out of the building here, and that's that residence looks to be 1, 2, 3, 4, the fifth house with the gray roof there. You can see at the rear of the house you have that white pickup truck, you have that red sedan, and another pickup truck with a shell on it. That Long Beach unit is right there in the right area there. So that suspect, as you saw, he footbuilt as he left that that stolen vehicle to kind of run into the building there, but ran in towards the rear and got into the back door of the main house here, not the detached unit, the main house right there. And he ran over on the top right of the house. That's going to be the northeast corner. There is a black security door that he kind of scrambled in, as you saw from our footage there. So we believe the suspect, we haven't seen anyone come out of the residence here, so we believe the suspect is still going to be inside. I don't think he was anticipating the news cameras here, you know, watching his every move, but that is in fact what is taking place here. So hopefully the Long Beach units will be able to get to this guy pretty quickly here. But yeah, in the meantime, we do have overhead units. We have Long Beach PD. We have LAPD now converging onto the scene here. So the chances or the likelihood of this guy being able to get away pretty much slim to none. So that's kind of what we're looking at right now, and hopefully they will be able to take this guy into custody or get this guy to come out peacefully. But yeah, this was a long-running pursuit here that began in Long Beach with a stolen vehicle suspect here, and you know, coming up the 605 freeway, west on the 91, south on the 605, south on the 710 freeway, all the way to the end over towards the Terminal Island freeway. We saw him coming to Pedro, and now not too far from where he got off the freeway, just off of Gaffey here. Now he's kind of essentially put himself into a residence here. I'm sure he knows that the PD is outside and with overhead helicopters looking at the residence here, so he's got to know that you know, at some point he's going to have to come out peacefully. But there you go. You can see kind of the overhead scene there. You can see if this guy is watching TV, dude, your best bet is just to give up and come out of the house peacefully, as they tell you. So at any rate, they do know the residence, and we do know the location, so we're just going to kind of continue to watch this as long as we can, and hopefully this guy does the right thing and gives up peacefully here. Yeah, go ahead, guys. Not yet, but you know, K9 will likely play a part in this as you know, we get closer to, as we get, hang on, guys. Okay. Yeah, give me just a minute here. I'll get it for you. Okay, guys. Guys, was he wearing a red hoodie with a black jacket, or a vest hoodie kind of combo? Okay. Yeah. Okay, PD. He was wearing a kind of a combo vest, hoodie, black and red, as he was scrambling out of the car into the house. Hang on. Okay, hang on. Rich, help me out. Okay, dark shorts. Okay, we just rolled it back here. Looks like dark shorts and kind of a combo hoodie vest, red and black, but basically dark colored here, but definitely red and black hoodie vest type combo. Yep. All right. Yeah, we've passed it. One more time. Hang on. No worries, no worries. Okay. Yeah, go ahead, guys. Hang on here, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 776 West First. Probably about 40 minutes or so, guys. All right. Do you have an address up front, Rich? Yeah, let's see if we can see numbers. Because I got 7. Seven, 7, 2. Seven, there you go. 776. Okay. Between Cabrillo and Gaffey. Still Long Beach, huh? Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, we sure are. Okay, yeah, this is all happening right outside the residence here, so obviously they've got the right address. It's going to be 776 West First, and so West First, if we widen out the shot, we can kind of show you the layout here. They've got West First completely blocked off here, so West First between Cabrillo Avenue and Gaffey over on the east side is going to be shut down here. They've got the alleyway shut down, and they've got the police helicopter overhead, multiple units here. We have Long Beach Police. We also have the LAPD on scene here, so they're going to be closing in on this guy here. Hopefully, if you are a resident of this block here, keep your doors locked and just kind of keep an eye on the news, and so you can stay with the updates here as we bring them to you here. But yeah, if you live on this block, stay indoors and stay locked, because you have a suspect here right in the middle of the block there that is involved in a stolen vehicle pursuit that began in Long Beach, ran around the freeways there, and now he is back in San Pedro, where he has essentially barricaded himself into the house here. So I don't know if they are making call-outs here, so having the guy, giving the guy an opportunity to come out peacefully, but at some point they will. But from what we understand right now, they're going to be calling in canines, and beyond that, whatever they feel they need to bring this to a peaceful conclusion, they will bring. So it's just a matter of time, and time is on the hands of the police department at this point here, guys. Yeah, absolutely. More of a barricade situation at this point here, and you can see that block is going to be pretty much cordoned off. The LAPD has set up their perimeter. They know that this person is going to be pretty much in this house right there, right in the middle of the screen. So you saw that pursuit suspect here as he was circling the block with the car still in gear. He actually just jumped out of the car and let the car roll into the building in the back alley there. He ran through the backyard there where those three vehicles are. You see that white pickup truck, the red sedan, and then that kind of that bronzish colored pickup truck with the shell. He ran through there and off to the side and entered the main structure here. Not that structure off to the top right, the kind of the extension there, but he ran into the main house over on the top right, so over on the northeast corner of it. There was a black security gate, and he just kind of scrambled into the house, and we have not seen him come out or any movement. But the good thing is that the LAPD, the Long Beach PD, Arrow is here, so we do have air support above, and they know exactly the situation here, and they are going to bide their time and try and get this guy to come out peacefully. That would be the best thing for him. But, you know, to this point, you saw during some parts of the pursuit, this guy was doing everything he could to avoid being taken into custody here. And that means, you know, definitely means that after he was pitted, he still drove out of it, drove through police units. And so just a desperate situation here. So it looks like the K-9 might have arrived on scene. And so we'll see how they utilize the K-9 here. But as this guy chooses not to come out, they might elevate that. They might escalate the situation here in terms of trying to bring additional units or what have you that might be able to specialize in trying to get this guy out peacefully here, guys. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Here we go, front door. Okay. Well, after removing, you know, possibly if this is the suspect here, after removing jacket and hoodie, it looks like we have someone trying to come out peacefully here. So whether or not we can match this up with the suspect as he was running out of the car and into the house here, it's hard to know if this is the guy. So I just don't know. It doesn't look like he's. If so, it doesn't look like he's wearing the same clothes.